Coach, how did Saturday scrimmage go?
Very pleased. We went about 40, 42, 43 snaps, quality reps, offense and defense, and special teams had a few reps there. There was good plays on defense. We started out in the red zone, green zone area. Our actual defense ended up having 2 interceptions in that phase, and we did score 1 touchdown. The offense did, and all that. So it was kind of, as a head coach, it was good on both sides of the ball. From that perspective, some things did happen in a good way. Then on the rest of the scrimmage, we kind of put the ball in the minus 35 and kind of moved the ball according to whatever happened. I think there were some good things that happened there. Had a couple other touchdowns that were scored. Defense had about 4 more sacks. So, again, there were some good things on defense. There were some good things on offense. I think it was a good standout. Probably a few people, I'd say Steven Calvert, Buckshot, I think he only had 4 or 5 plays. But of his 4 or 5 plays, he had 2 touchdown passes. And so that was very, very productive in that sense. Stephon Marshall had a very, very productive day. He was the most productive as far as the number of big plays, third down conversions and all that. He had a very good day. Kyle Carrington had a 65-yard touchdown pass. Antonio Golden Gandy there had a touchdown pass also there, about 35, 37 yards. And Parker had a touchdown pass. Also, field goal-wise, we were under 40 yards. I guess it was 42 or whatever. We were 2 for 2. We had 2 tries. One was up about 51. One was about 53. He missed those. Alex Probert missed those 2. So, in a sense, the first day of scrimmage, I thought it was good. Anytime you can do things under 42 yards and you make those, that's a good thing. 50-plus. Hopefully you're 50% of those. Hopefully he would have made 1 out of 2, but he missed those 2. But I think overall we got a lot of evaluation, and that was the purpose of it. We had a full tackle. They didn't touch the quarterbacks as far as that go. We tagged off on the quarterback, but everything else was live. And another person that we made a move from offensive line, the defensive line, Greg Story, was probably the most productive factor as far as being involved in a lot of plays. He had a sack and couple other plays there, TFL and so on and so forth. So his first outing was good. He still has a ways to go on some things that he needs to learn and do all that. But overall, we had a lot of great evaluations, and some young people made some good progress, and obviously some veteran guys were very, very steady.
Which position group would you say since last Monday has made the biggest jump?
I think the linebackers have been steady. I think the D-line, for some reason, always has been pretty steady on that part of it all. The receivers, some people there have been very productive, but there are 2 or 3 different positions that I've liked from last Monday to where we're at today in a 1 week. I think those areas have made some improvement.
Just on an overall basis, how are you happy with the improvement so far, or just the progression towards the season so far?
Well, I'm pleased with the progression. It's a process, it's a journey. No, we're not ready to play a top-notch football game here today, but we're making progress toward that, and that's all you want as a coach is different areas that you're looking at. Obviously, we're now going to probably, after 1 week, move to people who we believe are ready to play to get more reps. So we kind of gave everybody, whether they were true freshmen or whatever, they all somewhat got just about equal reps, and now that's going to be reduced of the people who we believe that are not ready to play at this point in time. Things can change, but overall now we definitely going to get ready to progress in some things. Then we're also going to be more situational football this week, going into more of the backed up 2-minute drill, short yardage, third down, more emphasis on those situational type football, and trying to see what we can do in that aspect of it.
Can you talk about Tanner Hartman at all? I know he's not a new guy, but just what he means to the offensive line.
Well, Tanner Hartman is a leader in every aspect, as being able to be productive as a football player, or productive as just a human being, a very quality person, number one, does things in the right way. He's not a real vocal guy per se, but he leads in a great way as far as doing other things that people are going to follow him and respect him and listen to what he has to say. So we're glad that he's on our football team, on our football program. He's only a junior, played a lot of great football for us, and I think he's going to be a tremendous asset for our team and our community.
Has he mentioned anything? Have you talked to him at all? His dad actually played at Virginia Tech. Have you heard that story? And what do you think about that? Since not that he's going to have any allegiance issues or anything like that, but what do you think about that?
Well, obviously, it's a unique situation there, special for them, and I know from that aspect they're going to be all here at Liberty as far as that goes, and we're just glad to have an opportunity that Tanner's going to be on our team, and his family is a tremendous family there, and they respect and do the things that they need to do and be the best people they can be in that aspect. So it's going to be a little special moment for him, but when you blow the whistle, he'll do what he needs to do in Tanner, and I think his dad too.
Speaking of offensive line, who's getting line share at center right now?
At center, we got Ben Field-Lease, you got Lucas Holder, Dante Duff. Those are the main three people that are getting all the reps at center position, and we'll figure that all out what we decide as far as Duff or Holder. Still going through that evaluation, trying to find the best 5 guys at certain positions, and we'll still keep evaluating that.
With Story's move from right guard to the right tackle, to the defensive line, how are you shoring up the right side with Holder originally, at guard, and now you're moving Campbell up to tackle?
Well, it's kind of going to be a moving thing in progress each and every day. We got a little bit of Sam Isaacson is in the mix as far as the right tackle. Aaron Campbell there, right guard and right tackle. Got James Passmore. So there's 3 or 4 guys that we're moving around in there and trying to find the best fit. And, it may be the game week before we really decide on that, and it could change as we go through the football season and until we find the right mix of 5 to 6 guys that we really feel good about playing at the offensive line.
Is Ernest Anderson making some progress and finally getting a chance to get in that 2 deep?
Ernest Anderson, he's been slowed by a little bit of an injury, and he hasn't gotten a whole lot of reps. I don't anticipate him to be in the top 5. Hopefully he can be in the top 10. We travel most of the time with 10 people. So we're just taking it one day at a time. He's going to slow progressing, but he's a big guy and can do some things of that nature. And he hasn't played a whole lot of football as far as being from the other country and all that. But right now, I wouldn't see him in the top 5 or 6.
How about number 2 tailback behind Todd Carrington and Frankie? How those guys looking?
Carrington Mosley, Frankie Hickson. I think those guys are doing really well. Carrington probably has been a little bit more impressive. I think it's just because he's had a few more carries. But they all going to play. Frankie's going to play, whether they're second, third, or whatever it's going to be. Again, we're going to play a lot of backs. We're going to play a lot of receivers, and so they all going to get playing time.
How did the special teams look? You mentioned Alex Probert, but the return game, especially punt and kick return, getting that first live run at you, that guys that maybe stood out that could help you out in that aspect?
We didn't go full 11 on 11. We had a kickoff return type of a drill, kickoff and kickoff return, and had some returners back at that situation. We still haven't figured that out. I'd probably say a main guy we're trying to think about is probably Frankie Hickson, Damian King, the 2, and Todd Macon as far as kick returners. And I think the same thing as far as punt returners. You got Damian King. You're also going to have probably I would say Parker be in the mix too, but I think those 4 to 5 guys will be in the mix as far as punt return and kickoff return. So we did work on that drill as for a particular kickoff return. Every day in practice we have the punt returners catching it and making the first guy miss, so we don't have a whole live situation in practice where they do get an opportunity to have a little bit of the rest underneath them as far as having gunners come at them during practice. So we're working on all that. I like the progress that Coach Downing is putting forth through our whole football team, and we're doing a lot more drill work and trying to get more fundamentally sound on just the basic things about punt return, kickoff return, and how to coverage, how to leverage things, and all those aspects of it. So we're just trying to be more detailed before we get to the big picture.